Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into something kind of strange. It's a paradox right at the heart of a huge academic field, one that studies leadership and strategy, but somehow seems to have misplaced its main character. Okay, let's get into it. So here's the central puzzle, laid out perfectly in a recent editorial from the Journal of Management. I mean, just think about that for a second. The entire field is called management, but the actual people who do the managing, the supervisors, the executives, the people on the ground, they're often just missing from the research. How in the world did we get here?
The authors of the study use this absolutely brilliant Shakespearean analogy. Imagine you bought tickets to see Hamlet. You're settled in your seat, but the actor playing Hamlet never shows up. I mean, the play would technically still happen, right? Other characters would talk about him, but you'd be missing the entire point. Well, that's pretty much what's happened in management studies, and it's a mystery we're going to solve today.
So for Act 1, we're launching our investigation. How did the most important person in this story just vanish from the stage? Look, this didn't just happen overnight. For decades, the focus has been slowly shifting. Instead of studying the messy, human, and let's be honest, unpredictable decisions of individual managers, the field got fascinated with bigger, cleaner ideas. Things like abstract systems, giant data sets, and firm-level strategies. The actual person, they just kind of faded into the background noise. So how did this actually happen? To understand this disappearing act, we need to look at 3 key moments in history that pushed managers further and further offstage.
This whole thing basically happened in 3 steps. It all started way back with scientific management, where efficiency was king. The process was the hero of the story, and the manager's job was just to enforce that system, kind of like a cog in a huge machine. Then, after World War II, management studies really wanted to be taken seriously as a hard science, so it fell in love with numbers. Human stuff like personality, values, intuition, if you couldn't easily measure it and put it in a chart, it was pretty much ignored. And that leads us straight to today's science-practice gap, where academic research is often so dense and full of jargon that it's totally disconnected from the people actually doing the work.
And this problem looks a little different depending on what part of the field you're in. Over in the macro fields, like strategy, researchers want these really clean, tidy theories about entire firms. So for the sake of parsimony, which is just a fancy word for keeping things simple, they basically assume all managers are the same. They just become background noise. Then you have the microfields, like HR, where the problem is a bit different. They do study individuals, but there's this massive disconnect. Scholars are creating all this knowledge that practicing managers either can't understand or just don't find useful. Either way, the result is exactly the same. The real, living, breathing manager gets pushed to the sidelines. Okay, so we've established the problem. The manager is officially missing in action. Now, in Act 2, we're going to talk about the solution. And this isn't just some dusty academic debate. There are real stakes here. It's time to make the case for a comeback. So here's the bottom line. It's absolutely crucial. We can talk about firm strategy or corporate culture all we want, but at the end of the day, firms don't do anything. Firms are just legal fictions on paper. People make decisions. People build culture. People innovate. If we forget that, our theories about how business works are just fundamentally broken. Thankfully, the researchers who pointed all this out didn't just leave us hanging. They actually laid out a super clear, actionable plan to solve this mystery and put the manager back into the story right where they belong. Think of it as a 4-step rescue mission. Yep, a rescue plan in 4 parts, and it's all designed to make management research actually relevant again. The first step is so fundamental, it feels almost obvious, but it's been so often overlooked. Researchers need to stop talking at managers and actually start listening to them. That old model of academics in their ivory towers dreaming up theories for everyone else to follow, it's broken. It's time to flip the script. And listening here means a lot more than just sending out a survey. It means getting out of the office. It means asking questions about the real problems managers are wrestling with every single day. It means researchers need to go to the Chamber of Commerce meetings, the industry conferences, the places where managers actually are, instead of just waiting for managers to come to them. And it means speaking in plain English without all the academic jargon. The whole point is to start this virtuous circle. The more relevant the research is, the more managers will want to be a part of it, which then makes the research even better. And the power of just listening is huge. Take the story of Jack Harding. He was a CEO at a company called Cadence, and he had this amazing vision for innovation, but he felt totally blocked by his own company's bureaucracy. So what did he do? He quit, founded a new startup called eSilicon, and turned his vision into a reality. That one story completely shattered the existing academic models, which all assumed big innovations had to happen inside big, established companies. Harding's journey directly led to a whole new idea called the knowledge spillover theory of entrepreneurship, a revolutionary concept that didn't come from a spreadsheet, but from listening to one manager's real-world story. Okay, step 2 is all about the theories themselves. Researchers need to stop treating managers like they're interchangeable parts and start building models that explicitly show their unique impact. It's about putting them right at the center of the picture. I mean, a company's ability to adapt and change, what academics call its dynamic capabilities, that's not some abstract quality of the firm itself. It's deeply tied to the specific people running the show, their insights, their leadership style, their guts to take a big risk. If you swap out a CEO, you don't just change the name on the door. You can fundamentally change the entire company's future. Any theory that ignores that is missing the most important variable in the entire equation. The third recommendation is all about expanding the toolkit. To get the full picture, researchers need to stop looking at the world through a single, narrow lens and start combining different kinds of data and different ways of analyzing it. So what does this actually look like? First, multiple levels. Don't just look at a firm's performance. Connect that to data about the managers inside that firm. What are their backgrounds, their experiences? Second, multiple methods. Combine the what you get from big quantitative datasets with the why you get from deep qualitative interviews. And third, and this one is huge, better experiments. So much behavioral research is done on university students, but you can't assume a 19-year-old undergrad behaves the same way as a 45-year-old executive with a mortgage and a team of 50 people. Researchers need to study actual managers to get results that mean anything in the real world. This whole issue connects to a massive problem in the social sciences known as the weird problem. Most of our research subjects come from this one very narrow slice of the global population. Relying on them to understand universal human behavior, it's like trying to understand the entire ocean by only studying what's in a single swimming pool. If we want to really understand management, we have to study managers in all their diversity, all over the world. And that brings us to the fourth and final step, breaking down the silos within academia itself. The different parts of a professor's job, the research, the teaching, the consulting, they shouldn't be competing with each other. They should be feeding each other. Just think about it. When a professor consults for a company or serves on a board, they get a front row seat to the real challenges managers are facing. Those experiences are an absolutely incredible source of new, relevant research ideas. And then the insights from that research can be brought right back into the classroom, making the teaching way more practical and impactful. It creates this powerful feedback loop where academia and the real world actually make each other better instead of just existing in two separate universes. And that brings us to our final act. We've identified the missing character, we've understood how they vanished, and we've laid out a 4-step plan to bring them back. This is all about reuniting the field of management with its namesake, the manager. So it all comes back to this 4-step rescue plan. It's really a call for a much more engaged, more relevant way of doing things, to listen to managers, to build theories that actually reflect their reality, to use a broader and smarter research toolkit, and to connect all that academic work back to the real world. And we'll end with this thought. The story of management's missing manager. This isn't just about business schools. It's really a cautionary tale for any field of expertise. You know, whether it's economics that forgets about consumers, or political science that forgets about voters, or even medicine that forgets about patients. It's a powerful reminder that no matter how sophisticated our models and theories get, we can never, ever lose sight of the people at the very center of the story.